Today is practice. So let's start with the beginning about the homework. First comment about homework. I got in the morning I had like 22 homework. Maybe I can check if we have a little more now, but in fact we can check here. I want to give a comment about homework. For a second, I will put my email here. So here is the folder Computing and Molecular Biology. So as you should know by now, you have to send your answers to a particular email, Andres Nocta Aravena plus CMB at Istanbul.edu.tr. I'm using this to with an automatic system. There is several things that several tricks that I'm using here. In particular, I have a rule in Google, in the Gmail account, that everything that is sent to this address, to this plus CMB, is automatically sent to my folder. But to this folder, it's automatically sent in this folder. And I don't see it. It doesn't show in my inbox. So if you ask me questions, I don't see them. It's super important that this address is only for answer, not for question. If you ask a question, I will not see it until it's too late. Then you need to send a text. This is perfect. You see, it's a. In fact, the name is not very important. I will show you in a minute why it's not critical. I get the RMD file. Some of you got an email. I hope all of you got an email. Everybody that sent an answer got an email today. Because I also have a program that I made that connect to this folder and download everything and take all the attached, and I calculate the digital signature, and I send you back the digital signature. And the file that I have in my computer has only the digital signature. So I don't see your name. I just see your student number. I don't see your signature. Sorry, I don't see the file name that you choose. I only see the signature, and that has several advantages. In particular, that I am not biased. I am blind to what I'm checking. If you did it good or bad, I will evaluate on the file. I don't know who is writing. I don't know. Like I cannot help my friends. I cannot be bad to my enemies because I don't have friends. I don't have enemies. But I don't have any bias. Some bad answers are this. This is someone who did not really answer the homework, because this is a HTML file, and we don't work with HTML files. I don't want to see your result. I want to see what is the code that you wrote to produce that result. I want to see the original, the RMD file. So this person didn't answer the homework. Okay, so I'm going to give a few minutes. I mean, I will wait until the end of this class so people can go back in their computer and find the RMD file. This is super important because the exam is exactly like this. Okay, for the exam, you have to write this thing. And the general purpose, the big picture here is that we are teaching you how to program. And so the thing that you have to show is how you program. And second, what you will do probably in your professional life, you are going to write code that you are going to share with other people. The way that we see that things are going to evolve in molecular biology is that more and more you will have data, and more you have to share the protocol that you use to analyze your data. And that protocol is computer code. There are several approaches. People maybe use Python, maybe use R. And we are teaching one protocol of that. And that protocol is write in R Markdown and share your R Markdown file. So what we see, there is a tendency that journals not only take your PDF, they also take your RMD, because they need to know how you created the code that you are sharing. Okay, so what else? Let's take quickly. Here is RMD, good. So normally this message, I don't see them. Whatever you write here, I normally don't see. There is only one important thing that you have to put your name inside the file. So again, I send an HTML file, doesn't count. This is even interesting because say the doesn't let me choose output as PDF. Yeah, but I don't want HTML. I don't want the output. I want the input that produces that document. Well, and so on. Okay. So, but in general, the main problem so far is that people are sending the what is the name, the HTML file, and that is not what we want. Here, what is happening? Okay, this is, for example, this person is sending a question that is not about the, is not an answer, so it should not be here. You see? So be careful to send the only answer to this address. If you have questions, we have the forum. If you have a personal question, let's say like, Professor, I have a particular problem here, then you write directly to me without the plus CMB, because if you put plus CMB, I will not see your question. Okay?
Okay.
The second point here is, well, this is not very critical. There are some people writing RMD with lowercase. Well, it's not very critical because things in general work anyway. But it is a good practice that you use the correct case. Okay, in general, lowercase and uppercase are different, so it is important. And it's the same in molecular biology, by the way. When you write a gene name, the big case and the lowercase and uppercase are different. So even, I'm always surprised that when you write your name, the first letter should be uppercase. And in Turkish, it's very common that people write the family name with the uppercase. So, but I see a lot of people writing their name with lowercase. I don't understand why you don't love yourself enough. You are trying to be small. Writing with lowercase is like you are trying to nobody see me. You're trying to hide yourself. No, so write your name in a clear way and be careful with lowercase and uppercase. Okay. Questions? Okay. I have a little summary of what we have seen so far. What you should be able to do at this time. And if you are not able, check how you can improve this. You should be able to write a structured document in Markdown. I'm not saying that you are using all the options, but you know that the option exists. You know that if necessary, you know, for example, I printed the help here. I also printed in color and in bigger, but here I have the small version. This is, I don't know, anybody can go to the printer and print one of these. It doesn't focus. Okay, the Markdown cheat sheet, which you can get online. These are PDFs that you can get online and you can use them. So you should be able to use the online help to produce a document. I shared this address, but I can share it again later if necessary. We will see in a minute, okay? But you should be able to write using any text editor, in particular the R Markdown editor. You should be able to write this thing. Second, you should be able to combine R and Markdown that we did in the homework and we are going to do today, okay? Third, you should be able to use vectors and use them as index of other vectors that we did last class. Okay, do you remember? Okay, good. Move your head. And if you don't have camera, you have to speak. Okay, this is the deal. If you don't use your camera, you have to speak because I don't see you. So if you want, if you are shy and you don't want to speak, use your camera. Okay, I see more people now. Good. What else? In the videos that were the content of this class, of today's class, I expect that everybody saw the videos that we sent during the week. And we spoke about packages and reader package, and essentially the new way. Some of you are doing this course for second or even third time sometimes, and you have to be aware that this course is different from the previous one. And it's different essentially because we are getting the modern version. Things have changed, and it was a kind of it was a shame that we were teaching the old way. There is a book that is free online by the guy who invented. You can get this. Everything that I am doing is based on this book. This book is free, if I am not wrong. I think at least the web version of this book is free. And the guy who wrote the book is the guy who invented the system that we are using. Okay? So this is the book that we are using for this course. It's a very good book, by the way. Very, very, very clear. I wish I can write like this guy. And you should be also able to install new packages and use this, what is it? This command, filter and select, and this funny thing. So to check if everything is right, we are going to take a quiz, which, by the way, will be the attendance of today's class. In general, quiz are not so critical. Like I am not like, you have to give me all the correct answer. On the contrary, I kind of like that you be honest, and if you say something wrong, it helps me to learn what is wrong. So I am sending you the link. I'm copying this and I'm sending in the chat. I learned that I can do this via chat. So what is this thing? What is the chat? Oh. Oh, Zoom, chat, here, chat, good. So please open this. I can put music maybe. I see what is happening. That is, okay. You know, Zoom has something funny that puts the windows over other windows and then I cannot see anything. But so far so good. I think you got the link and you can open it. By the way, I am pausing the recording, so we don't need to record this part. Interesting answers. I don't know if we want to see them now, but we may comment something. The first question was about the, what was the name? The data types in R. And in general, people answer, especially people who did the class before. What the answer that they expect here is people say logic, text, and numeric, which are the things that we have said here. Some people also know from the previous course that there is something called factor that we are not talking about yet. If you did this course before, you should know that we are not talking about factors yet. Maybe after the midterm, but we didn't speak about factor. We didn't speak about lists or matrices that we speak in other time because we're not going to use them so much. Then there is an interesting, for example, someone say data frame. Data frame is not a data type. It's a data structure. It's how you organize the data. There is two concepts here. Is what is the data like? Do you have number? Do you have text? And the second is how you organize them. Do you put in vectors? Do you put in columns? Do you put in lists? Do you put in matrix? How you organize this data? Then there is another that say text file with tab separated value. That is yeah, so people say tab separated value. That is not data types in R. That is how we represent data in files outside R. Point is, you have tab separated values or comma separated value with Excel and with any other system. In particular, we use comma separated value with Excel. So it's not something about R. Someone even say about complex numbers, that is true, but we are not working. Okay, the meaning of NA, missing value, that is the best answer. Very, very good. Yeah, people say not available. Well, someone say not applicable. No, it's not exactly not applicable. It's not available. Something that you don't have. But yeah, non-vector value, no, that is not the case. It's means, and most of people got it correct. NA is something that we don't know. Like, for example, somebody didn't answer, or one of your experiment didn't give any result. Like, I don't know, something was lost and broken. What else? What is the meaning of the pipe symbol? And there is a good answer that it can be read as then, and that's very good because I like very much that answer because I didn't expect that answer. You surprised me in a positive way. You give me an answer that was better than what I have in my mind. So very good. So the official name is pipe. And even some people make the reference on why we say that the tool here is called the package that provides this is called Magritter. So, and I ask you a question: why is called Magritter? Magritter.
I can say the answer.
Yeah, I know because you wrote it, but I want to know who else. I know that Karen knows because he wrote it. I know if anybody else know the answer.
I know too. I guess it's a homage to a painter, René Magritte.
Yeah.
René Magritte.
Aha, good. So I should have asked that question. I should have asked that question in the quiz to know how many people know René Magritte. And again, this is like languaging. Art is a way to know about things. Is a way to improve your way of thinking, to improve your mind. You know, so like language increase your tool for thinking. Art is also the same. Okay, we can talk about art a lot, but just to answer the question, yeah, Magritte, it ends with an R because it's in R. But yeah, René Magritte is based on René Magritte, which is this guy, which, by the way, I like very much. When I was doing my PhD, there was an exposition, and I went to Paris just to see this work. It's one of my favorite guys. Belgian. It's very, very interesting. And interesting because you see, it is surrealist, but not the surrealist kind of Picasso. Picasso is very famous for making this. In fact, Picasso is not surrealist. So there is a comment here, if you want. This is a typical picture. I want to make a comment. If you see the paintings of the 17th century, you know, like Rembrandt, especially Rembrandt, these are people painting and trying to make the painting more and more realistic. If you have the chance in Amsterdam, the art museum has something that are very, very amazing. How this guy with the brush, they make something very, very realistic. So for a lot of time, art was trying to capture reality as we see it. Well, at least in that moment of time. So the theory is this, what the philosophers say is this. People started to see the nature in a particular way, and the art reflected what we see. Okay, when you paint, you paint what we see. And then technology evolves to catch that. So in the middle of 19th century, people invented photography. So art was doing photography before photography. So there is a point that say everything that what we do, what the artists do is showing you what we want to happen. Is kind of expressing our wishes, our hopes, our dreams. And then technology make them real, if they are possible. So essentially, the art comes before technology. Art shows the way of technology. So if you think that, I don't know, something can be done, you will have people writing about it or making movies about it before it becomes real. That is why art is relevant. Because it expresses what we want to do, not what we can do right now. And eventually, I mean, the classical case is Jules Verne, you know, the guy who invented submarines and going to the moon and every kind of technology of the 20th century. This guy, even he invented fax, he invented many things that are today everywhere. They invented before. There is another very good writer called Arthur C. Clarke, who also predicted everything. There is a video that I can share with you, because it's even with Turkish subtitles, in which Arthur Clarke, in the late 60s, early 70s, described everything that we are doing today. Do you have a computer at your home, and you connect to the internet, and you Google things? Everything that we do today, this guy predicted 40, 50 years ago. He saw it because he was thinking of what we want to have and what can be done. Well, there is another point that when photography is invented, then making a realistic picture is not so tricky. It's not very hard to make a realistic picture because you just take a photo. So then is when artists start to change. The painting in particular change with photography, because since you have already a photographic machine, you don't need to do a painting that reflects what you see with your eyes. It's more like making you see what is possible, kind of, I mean, trying to break the rules of the eye. And that is when you got this surrealist. The surrealists are essentially saying, like, what is reality beyond what we see? And this is one of the most famous ones. Maybe, yeah, this we can open. Open in new tab, open image. Okay, let's see. This is the one that is super famous for Magritte. And that essentially shocked a lot, because you see, and it looked like a pipe, the pipe that people use to smoking. And he say in French here, this is not a pipe. So when people saw this, they say, why? I see a pipe, and this is saying this is not a pipe. And his point, which is at the end very relevant for us, is that this is not a pipe because you cannot use it like a pipe. You cannot put tobacco, and you cannot smoke, because this is a painting of a pipe. And why that is relevant? But there is a lot of things that are important in that idea. But for me, one of the points that you have to keep in mind when you are doing science is that what we do with science in general, but in particular with computers, we do models. We have explanation. We have scientific theories. And scientific theories are like maps, are like paintings, if you like. When we do science, we paint the reality. We make a portrait of reality, but it's not the reality. We try to make it very close. We have tried to make it very realistic. We try to make it very useful. But at the end, we cannot do reality. We can only do paintings. Like a painter cannot make a pipe, can only make a painting of a pipe. A scientist cannot make nature, can only make paintings of nature. Okay, you should always remember that what we do is a painting, a model, an abstract, a map. Okay, we are making maps of reality, which is not exactly the same as reality. Of course, we want our map to be closer and closer to reality, but they are different. So, well, and I think that the last point is this. One of the characteristics of a good professional in anything, even if you are not going to do molecular biology, but you are going to be a professional, is that you know the world that you are living. You know your place in the universe. And our place in the universe is also given by culture, given by the thing that people have done. And there is a minimum knowledge about art and philosophy and history that everybody should know. A good professional should not only be able to do pipetting or do the technique. A good professional is not only who knows the technique. You have to understand the word, because you are going to be, you will have some responsibility. You are going to be, let's say, the top educated people in the planet, and you are going to make decisions like, I mean, let's say that you make a vaccine, or you make a drug, or you make an antibiotic. You have to understand why to make it and why not to make it. When not only how to make CRISPR, for example. The question is not how to make a transgenic plant. The real question is why and why not. Maybe you can do something, but you should not do something. And to understand the consequences of what we do, you need to understand everything. You need to understand history, you need to understand philosophy. This thing can get really, really complicated later. So please don't think that art and philosophy and history are things that are not relevant, because it's what they make the difference between the real professional people and just the technocrat. You eventually will, let's say you will be a manager of a company and you have to design a product, or you are going to work, let's say you will be TÜBİTAK boss, or work in a European Commission of something. The decision that you are going to make should reflect the complete picture. You should get aware of all the context that involved here. So learn art, learn history, and let's learn computer and molecular biology. Okay? Any question? That was a Magritte story. Question? Answer? Comment? Maybe I can do something here. I'm still working with your quiz because I think it's useful that you see. Let's hide here so you don't. I'm hiding the data here for the same reason that we discussed in the homework, no? Or in the class about privacy of people. How do you install a package called example? Install package example. Okay, this. Okay, let's from the beginning. Install package. Can you see? No? Can you? Shall I make the text bigger? Maybe I can do like this. Install package example. Okay. So this will not work because you need to put quotation marks. Since the package, the system doesn't know what is the package, you have to put it in quotation mark. I put quotation mark here. Library example doesn't work. This is the correct answer with quotation marks. The open the file in R, no, that doesn't work. Our library doesn't work. How you activate library? Okay, this is good. this is even better because you say the package name is called example, so you put the package name here. When you use library, the quotation marks are optional. You can do from the text button, but the question was how you do with the command line. How you write long command in 2 or more lines. Okay, this is interesting. I don't understand the question, but okay, other people understood the question with this symbol. Well, it is not only the answers are not completely correct, because the point is that if you use the pipe symbol at the end of the line, then you can follow in the next line. If you don't put it at the end of the line, it will not work. Que es un hack. So
Thanks.
it has to be at the end of the line. Okay, it has to be at the end of the line, and essentially, when you write a command, the system essentially understands if you are finishing or not, and if you are not finishing, it will give you the option of continuing. We will do this in a practical way. The one is using pipe, but you have to put it on the end. The hash sign, no, this is a interesting answer, but it's wrong because the hash sign is not for continuation. It's on the contrary, it's for comment. This is pointing to the wrong direction, and I don't know, it's a very good answer. This is certainly not the trick, no? Okay, I try to split the process in 2 or more parts. Yeah, that is the idea. If you split the process in 2 or more parts, how you continue. Okay, good answer. We learn we will comment this again, and I will try to use this as a feedback. But if you, I am essentially trying to raise your questions here, no? Okay, stop the quiz. Anybody else? Any question? Any other comment here? Yes, no, maybe. Good. Okay. Something else that everybody should know is how to do science. I show this picture every time that I can. Some of you have seen this, but I like showing it every time. The big picture of scientific method, at least the one that I use for this class, is this one. We have several steps. There is a cycle that starts with nature. Science is about nature. We try to answer questions about nature. And we want to, we make some observations about nature. Maybe we can hide this one. Okay. We make observations about nature, and we see patterns in nature. And in this thing that we observe, for example, we see that every time that for example, every time I drink milk, I have stomach pain. That happens to me. There is a connection. There is a pattern that I drink milk, I have pain. So then it comes a question: why milk give me stomach pain? And this is what I want to talk today. The most important part of science is asking good questions. What makes a good scientist is to ask, well, if you answer the question, you are probably better. But the key point is to ask good questions. It's the most important. I mean, maybe I will say the other way. What makes bad science is that people don't ask the good question. When people are kind of asking the easy questions and answering the easy questions, even if you answer very correctly, they are not very meaningful because they are not the good question. The real trick is to ask good questions. Then we make all the effort to create explanation for that question and make predictions based on that explanation. And then we make experiment to test if that predictions are correct. And if the test is good, we prepare a paper, we communicate our work to other people, and this becomes part of the knowledge. Of course, when we observe nature, observations is based on what we know. For example, somebody invented microscope. And after a while, this using a microscope or a telescope or PCR, for example, PCR is today part of our knowledge. We can observe nature using PCR because it's something that we know, or sequencing DNA, or well, any kind of experiment. When you do experiment today, you do some techniques, and the techniques are based on previous knowledge. In other words, when we observe nature, we observe from the point of view of our knowledge. And after the cycle, we get to create new knowledge. Okay, this is the process. The center of the scientific method is knowledge. Because the scientific method is a method to create new knowledge. Okay, so what is the question that you want to solve here? That is my question for you. What is the question that, so this is a longer question. So I am putting this aside so you keep in your mind for the rest of the class. What is the question? What is the question? We are going to take some data and in the class and well, I probably will put this in the homework. If you do an experiment and you get values and you get data, what is the question that you want to answer? What is the question? So that should be the thing that. So what I look forward today is that during this class you ask questions, even if we cannot answer them. Even if we cannot answer them, but what question can we ask to the data? Okay. You do an experiment, you get a result. What is the question that you can answer with that question, with that result? Okay, so practice. Okay, let's practice. I have okay. There is someone coming. Okay, 1 second. I hope it will not be a problem. Practice. Okay, I am open R, and I'm going to show you a trick that I have not done before, but I think will be good because people recommend to do this. I'm going to R, and I hope that you do the same. You open R here, and I'm clicking. Did I save this? Yes, I saved it. And I'm going to show you this point. Here in the corner, you will see something, or maybe there is a menu here, that project, I don't know. But in the corner, certainly is a click that give you an option of choosing project. These are the projects that I have in my computer. And there is a button that says new project. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a project for today's class. Okay? There are different ways, but we are going to start with the easy one. We are working here with the project, we say, no? Yes?
Yes.
New directory. You see in my screen, no? Okay, new directory. I will say new project, just new project. There are many things if you're doing trick more advanced. And I will put a directory name, let's say CMB. Well, you choose the name that you want, but I will put CMB class. I will put CMB 2020 because I do every year. Class, this is class 15. And I will not click anything here. Just create project. You have to remember the folder that you created, okay? You have to remember where you put that folder because the next thing that we are going to do, I'm going to send you a file. Let me find the file. Okay, so this is clean. There is a file called rproj, that you don't need to share it. That essentially is the configuration of this folder. But I am in a new folder that I will use only for this class. It is kind of a good idea to have it for every project, maybe even for every class. Okay, because essentially you put everything that you need together: your data, your input, your output, and it will help people. For example, the point that you don't find the RMD file, the point that you don't find, it will be much safer if you create a folder just for the homework, just for the exam. Okay, it's kind of a good practice that I am sorry that I didn't teach you this earlier. Okay, I'm sorry, but I needed my coffee. I was waiting for the coffee last week. So I have to send you a file now. Going back to the PowerPoint. No, not PowerPoint. We learned to create a project. So please make sure that you create a project. Now I will send you a file in the chat that you have to put in the folder, and we are going to edit and we are going to share it. Let me find it and I will share with you in a minute, okay? File here. Where did I put it? Where did I put it?
Teacher, I couldn't create any project. It says error.
What error? Can you share your screen? It's a good thing that we have error. Let's have all the errors that we can have it now, okay? Okay, I found that. I have to stop sharing my screen. Maybe you can share your screen and we can see what is the error. Okay.
It says you must specify a name for the new project directory.
Yeah. Click in browse because you didn't say where to put it. Click in browse there. And choose a folder where you are going to put it, maybe in your documents, for example.
Okay.
You see, then there will be a subfolder. You see?
Okay.
So I appreciate very much that that is why we are here. So everybody practice thing, and we try to get all the errors that we can have today. Okay? You can stop sharing if you like. Yeah, thank you. And I will share mine. Tamam?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Today is the day of sharing screens. So I send you a file. I don't know where I put it, so but I have to do the same here. And depending on your system, you will get the file that I send you in some folder. First question, did you get the file that I sent in the chat? Okay,
yes.
Save this moving the head. Who else? If you, okay. The Damla, Zainab are not showing the screen, so they have to speak.
Should we take this document into the directory folder? Put
yes, sir.
That in?
Yes,
okay.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the instruction here. Let me show you the instruction again. You send a file in the chat, you move to the project folder, and we will open that file. So I will do that thing here. The moving is something that you do in your computer depending on your, it's very personal, let's say this. So I don't know how you will do it, okay?
I download it, but I couldn't do anything. It can automatically download in R. It's correct.
But you, when you, okay, there is a point that when you don't load it, you have the option of opening it directly or not. You don't need to open it. You can open the Finder, what is the name? The Explorer, the window to move files. Or there is an option here. No, it's not very clear here. No, I don't have that option. When you download, it doesn't need to be open directly. You don't need to double click it. This is so I agree that this may be tricky, but it's a kind of trick that you should be able to do. It's kind of the basic thing, how to manage your computer, how to handle it. So here I call practice class 15 and I'm dropping here. Oh, no, I did something wrong here. Oh. Okay, I did it wrong. As I say, it is part of the learning and I made the mistake myself. Today is the day of making mistakes, so let's make mistakes. What option I have here? I have like show folder. No. Okay, I will copy in the outside here. I mean, moving file, you can move something here, but it's not what I recommend. Here. Okay, my screens are behind the Zoom session. Okay, I found it. No, not that one. Yeah, I found it. Okay, good. Copy. Okay, if I copy, you see, I got it here. Okay, it depends on everybody. I really cannot. Maybe you can, if you want, you can share your screen and we can try to do it together. But to be honest, it is very much depending on everybody. So in the chat, can you tell me if you don't have the file in the folder, if you don't see something like this, can you please tell me in the chat? If nobody writes, I will assume that everybody got the file in the correct place. Fine?
No, it's not fine. I didn't get
Me too. I couldn't
anything. Like what are we doing right now?
What are we doing is this. I send you a file in
Yes.
In the chat, and when you download, you should be able to, in your computer, depending on your system, you should be able to move that file into the folder of the project. Sometimes maybe you have an option that say showing the system. Let me see. For example, I don't know if you see the chat here, but here you say click to open. Yeah, I agree. Like, I don't know who said that you click and it will open in R directly. Okay. But I'm saying that you can have an option here like showing the Explorer that show, in this case, it show where I have the file here. What is it? Sorry, I cannot show you that. Why not show you? It will look something like this. This is the place that I saved the file. Okay. And I have the other thing that we're going to do later. We're going to download this text also, the student data.
Where did you click for this? I didn't see it.
I found, well, everybody has different system, but there are three, I see three buttons here, three dots here. And here there was an option. I don't know what you will have in Windows, because I don't have Zoom in Windows, but. So I will show you what I did. I have the folder where I have the original file, and I also have another folder that corresponds to the R session. And I essentially copied from here to here, or move it if you like. How I found this one, this folder, I found it here. Click and click. Look, for example, if I don't show it, it will open this one. It showed me here. Okay, that is how I found where the file was stored in my computer when I downloaded from the chat. Okay, and then I have another folder that I had to open directly that essentially came from here. You see, this is the same as here. Maybe there is an option here like open show folder in new window or something. Yeah, you can do this. Show folder in new window, and that open the external. So in other words, there is a three button here that show you where you download the file, and there is an option here that says show folder in new window. And at the end of this, you get two folders. One with the data was downloaded to your computer, and the other with the project data, and you essentially move this from here to here. Tamam?
Sir, I couldn't download practice class 15 R&D folder.
Why not? Why you could not? What?
Because when we're from you were, can you download it? I couldn't see. Where?
But it's in the chat.
Did you
here.
download from?
If you in the chat, I send you in the chat.
Yes, I download. What? Just a minute. I download practice class R&D. Okay.
Tamam. Okay, if you want, share your screen. That is the moment to share the screen. That is the trick of today's class, is sharing the screen.
I can share my screen.
Let me stop sharing my screen. And you can share your screen. Sharing is the word of today, no? So
cannot seen is there.
But can you click here in where they say more? A little.
There is more.
They say new folder, delete, rename, more. There is a more. Click in the more. Click in the more. Okay. Show folder in new window.
It cannot seen R&D folder.
Maybe it is another because you are sharing only one one window. I don't see your other window. Can you share the screen and not only the window?
Not only window.
When you share in Zoom, you have the option of sharing the full screen or sharing only one window. I think you are sharing only one window.
Just a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, there is something that says
Is it okay?
in the Lendler, yeah, it's okay. So you have this perfect. You have this download in the okay. Can you click down when you have the download? What is that thing? Down.
Downloads.
Yeah, you have the downloads. Yeah.
What?
In the Lendler, you have outside the R. Outside.
In the land.
Yeah. So here, when you download, no, what is this? Where did you download this thing? No, you don't have something from today, no?
I downloaded the chat from the chat, but I couldn't find.
Okay. You are using the chat you are using Zoom in the browser, no? Can you show me your Zoom, your chat in Zoom?
Chat.
In Zoom, chat Zoom.
I don't understand.
Can somebody help?
Samet chat kısmından mı indirdin?
Aynen chat kısmından
Orada
bastım.
find in folder yazıyor. Yani dosyanın içinde bul, ona bastın mı?
Yok, şeye bastım işte, bir dakika. Şunu kapatayım. Buradan açılıyor.
Yeah.
Find in folder. He.
Buldun mu? Yani orada direkt bulman lazım.
Okay. I find it.
Super. Yeah. Thank you, Rana. That is exactly the thing here.
Thank you for everyone. Thank you.
No, but that's the point. The second point of today, beyond that, you should know language, you should know art, and you should ask good questions. Is that science is a team sport. You have to work in teams. You have to help each other. The only moment that you cannot help each other is in the exam. For everything else, including homework, you can work together. Homework, you can talk with your friends, you can discuss with your friends. You have to write it personally. You have to use your own fingers, but you can talk and you can help each other. And it's super important because we don't learn alone. We don't learn. In fact, we don't even learn from the professor. When we learn is when we explain to someone else. The way that we learn is teaching. So you have to teach to someone else. You need to work. If necessary, we can split in groups. But I hope that everybody got the file and has something. I am sharing my screen again. Help each other, find teams. I mean, you can choose who are the persons you want to work, but try to have a team of 2-3 people. 10 people is too much. 1 people is too little. 2-3 people is a reasonable size, and that everybody can work and help each other. And because in general, we understand, I don't know, 50% of things. But the 50% that you understand is not the 50% that the other people understand. So together, you can understand, help each other in the part that one understands and the other doesn't. Okay? Team sport, teamwork. Okay, so you are seeing my screen? Yes, you are seeing this.
Yes.
Okay, now if everything is right, it should be just easy, like clicking here and you will open the RMD file. Okay? Now, first thing first, write your name here. You cannot believe how many times people send the exam without putting their name. How can you expect to pass a class if you don't put your name in the exam? So everybody write their own name. Okay? Second, I didn't put it here, but you should remember to put number. notice that if I write my number here, there is something wrong. I don't know if you see, but tell me if you see what is wrong here.
You didn't put a space.
Ah, perfect. Ah, congratulations. That is exactly the point. And you see that the text here is black instead of blue. Should be a space. So you put your student number. Okay, I don't have student number. Not anymore at least. Okay, I'm going to talk about this option later, okay? No, don't panic now. So we are going to download this data and we should also put it here. That is a trick of project, that you put the input and the output and everything in the same place. So this is something that I shared with you previously in the old class, but probably enough that you copy here and you go to the browser and you write it and you will download. Again, the same trick. You will download, you will put somewhere, and then you have to move it here. Let's do that. By the way, if we are fine, we can have a break. I don't know. Just before 1, I mean, 1:45, something for
Should
lunch.
we import it or just move?
What do you mean import
it or
it?
just move?
What do you mean import?
Import dataset.
Ah,
From
import
environment.
dataset. Yeah. No, you're right. No, let's move and let's just move. I see your point. I see your point.
Okay.
I see your point. But because if you see, I give you here the command to run it. Okay. This is the importing part. When you use import, it will be the same as this code. Okay, I see your point. Now, right now, just move it and put it in the folder, okay? So again, I am doing here, I'm going to, for example, in my case, I will, yeah, you can download here, no? Yeah. If you don't download, tell me, okay? But I'm going to show folder in new window, and I see my folder here, and I'm open the folder that I opened before. Where I download the file. If you don't, but okay, it's a good thing that you learn how to download this thing. Because I agree that sometimes the browser will be tricky. The web browser may be confusing. And let's have the problem now. Every problem that we can have, let's have it now. I see what is happening. So I get this student 2018, 2020. No, I've been collecting data for several years, and you copy or move from one to the other. Okay, and if everything goes right, I will see the TSV file here. Okay, this is.
I have
11.
a question.
Yes,
Should
please.
I install Reader? Should I install Reader? It says,
I think Reader is already installed. I think let's see. But if you check in package, you should probably have it already installed.
okay.
You can see here. Rectangular text, people call. By the way, you see there is something called real Excel. Later we can see that if you have your data not in a text file but in Excel, there is also a way to read the Excel. So we will be happy to do many things here. Okay. Okay, if everything is right, you should have this and we can try. Okay, I am trying to make the window bigger so everybody can see, and I am trying to. Now, there is a I will do very simple thing right now, but it will allow us to talk a little bit. I am assuming that everybody got this. So we have the RMD that we're going to work and the data we're going to load. Now I am going to import. as Atakan say, so someone say you can import from. That is a kind of the lazy way that you use the mouse, but we don't want to do that directly now because we want to have everything in a document. Okay, we want to have our document with all the instructions that allow us to replicate the command, and we should be able to make a document explaining everything here. By the way, next time we are going to make a document about COVID. So kind of the goal, remember the goal of this course is to write a paper. So here is kind of how you make the paper. You have a folder with all the data and you have your RMD file, and we put all the commands that will make that document. Now to test, we can go one by one and we can click here. This arrow, like, by the way, these blocks here, you will see are called chunks. And if you put the mouse over this green arrow, it will say run current chunk. Chunk essentially means this piece of code, and we are going to run it. Okay, let's see what happened. I have not tested. So the first thing is say library reader and then student, and then I got these messages here. And this is what I wanted to stop a second. Just before going further, we have everything worked well. We got students. Okay, we got this new data. So it's working. If you want, if you are very curious, you can click here and see what is inside. Tamam? But I want to take 1 minute to talk about this message here. What is happening here is that we, when we import, the system is automatically trying to guess what is every column. And in general, they guess well. Sometimes they make a mistake. So that is important that in some cases you have to say what are every column. For example, they recognize that the first column is a date. Then you have text like the ID, English level, sex, etc. Birth date is also a date. Height and weight are double. I have to say double. Let me put in the text here. What is double? I will put a comment here. Double means a real number. Why they are called double is this. The first computer managed only integer numbers. And sometimes there is some advantage for using integer numbers. Then people invented a way to write numbers with decimals, let's say real numbers. And at that time, they have the memory was very expensive, so they have a very limited amount of decimals. So when memory becomes cheaper, they invented like double precision. They have the single precision and double precision, like with few decimals or with a lot of decimals. So in modern computers, we only use doubles, meaning that a real number with a good amount of decimals. That is kind of an historic comment. Today, we will not call them double, but they are called double because they are twice the information that the old one had 20 years ago or 40 years ago. So I'm just, for your knowledge, double means real number, number with decimal. So here we have essentially three kinds of things. We have dates, character, and number with decimal. Okay? When you, we will work with that later. The point is eventually you can choose different, depending on the problem, you can choose different types. Now there is another thing that I want to show before we get further. If this should be able to produce a document. Remember here we have an option. I want to show, well, you have two options to show in the preview. Where is the preview? Here or in a separate window. Okay, anyway, click here. It is very simple because I have not written anything, so it should work in a minute and work. Oh, yes. And I have it here. Maybe I should open it in a separate window. Can you see it? Can you see? Yes, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
No, there is a problem. When I did the processing, all these messages are in the document, and in a paper, you probably don't want to show that thing. That is a comment for you, but not for the reader. You follow me, no? Let me
Yes.
say in a different way.
Can't we
If-
put a backslash to not show that?
Good question. No, it's a little more tricky. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
good guess, but the kind of the idea. We want to hide it. And that is what I wanted to show you today. So here you see that is happening, that there is a comment. This output is not an error. There is nothing wrong. It's just a comment. So for this, we are going to use this option. I mean, yeah, let's use this. Can you see there is like a kind of a wheel, like a mechanical gear, and you click and you have option for the chunk. So let's start the idea. There is an option here: show warnings, show message. Let's see the different option that we have. Show. I say that we don't show message. Show message equal false. I'm not sure, but I'm testing. But you see, when I click it, when I click the first time, it becomes true, and there is a part here that says show message equal true. You see? If I click again, it says false. So whatever I do with this menu will translate in a comment here, in a instruction here. Okay? Apply. And then I name it again, and I hope that it means that it doesn't show the message. Let's see. Yeah, no, it doesn't show. Okay. Agree? Say something.
Yes,
Okay, good.
I
So-
agree.
So what I wanted to show you is that chunks have an option here that you can change. I mean, you will learn them later, and to me, it's better to write. In general, the point is this: everything that we do with the mouse, we can do with text, and in general, doing with text will be faster and better. But if you don't remember, use the mouse to. I mean, the first time you don't know anything, and you use the mouse for everything. So you have an option for warnings. You can try this thing, and there is even a help here that you can see later. We probably will see other things. In fact, there is one. Well, no, let's see the others later. Let's keep going here, and but we will discuss today about some of these options. Okay. This is again something that I didn't teach before. So, for example, the natural question that you get when you get a document like this is how many variables we got. Here. Okay, some people say, it's very easy. I go and look and I see that I have 10 variables, but then you are working for the computer. What is the command will produce the number of variables?
Was it in char or?
Similar to that. Similar to that.
Okay.
Any other idea? What are the variables here? The variables are these things that you see here
Rows,
are the columns.
columns and col then.
Yeah, exactly. The number of variables
Yeah.
and the number of columns. So here you have an option that say insert a new code chunk. If you don't want to write all this thing, in general, I'm going to give you, but if you're writing from zero, you can just click here. You have different language here, but we use R. One day we will speak about the other. So you see what I did. I'm doing again. Undo. I am putting my my cursor. This where I'm going to write. I put in the place that I want to insert a new chunk, and I just click Insert R, and it creates this new space for code as the new code chunk. Tamam? And we write what you say. Who was Buse? Who said? Yeah. So,
Yes, and call.
And call of students. Okay. And now we can also test it. You can test it directly. 10. Okay. So you see everything that we write here, we click, it is executed, and we got the result here. Okay. There is a different way, but let's go Yavash with this. Number of column for a student and how many observations? What are the observations?
And rows.
And rows. The observations are the rows. Therefore, to know the trick, for example, if I am in a hurry, I can just copy this and paste it here, and I don't need to press anything with the mouse, and I change call by rows. Row and row, not rows. And you click, and yeah, we have 117. And if everything is fine, we should be able to knit this and get okay. No, 1 second. So here was the result, no? And call student, and this is the answer, and row student, and this is the answer. Okay?
Can I ask something?
Of course.
We imported the students to 2018 and 2020. It's the file's name. But when we do these codes, we wrote students.
Very good question.
File name
Very
is
good question.
different. Yeah.
Because it's not the file. The file name is outside the computer, is here in the files. Then with this command that I am highlighting here, we read the external file and we store an internal variable that we call students. So the internal name doesn't need to be the external name. And in general, that will be because of this. When you write in the computer, when you are doing the code, you have to write the name several times, hundreds of times. If you use a long name, you will get bored. To be honest, I always use like one letter, X, Y, A, very short, or a short name because I have to write it 100 times. In the file, on the other side, you want to have a long name because you have many files. You write the file name only one time, so you have time for writing. But the main problem with the files is that you have many, and you will be confused if all your files are called data, they will not tell you anything. So in the hard disk, in your file names, try to use long names to be explicit. These are the student, I should say, student of computing and molecular biology, survey between this year and this year. A very long name that when I read the file name again, I will understand immediately what are we talking about. But internally, in our analysis, we want to use a short name. It's like this. When you go to a place, to a new place, they will introduce you. For example, like when I introduce to myself, hello, my name is Andres Octavio Aravena Duarte. I am PhD from blah, blah, blah, blah, blah. I give you all my attributes because you don't know me. That is one time. After that, every time you don't say everything, you just say professor or doctor, or you use a short name. The first time that you meet a person, you will get all the long description, like the file name. After you know them, you just say you, Melike, I don't know, Atacan. You follow me, no? So there is the sure. So okay, I want to show you. Don't thank you for the question. You don't need to say me thank you for answering your question. It's my job. They pay me for doing it. But and the trick is asking questions. So I want to tell you one more thing, but what I want to just to give you hope is this. In 5 minutes, we are going to have a break. And after the break, or during the break, if you want, you can start reading. I wrote questions here. So when we come back, the idea that you work on this, maybe we can split in groups or something like that. And we try to solve, then you tell me what to put here, okay? You read this, think what can be the option, and tell me. Okay, but there is only one more thing that I want to show you before going to the break is this. In general, for the exam and for the homework, I give you something like this, the question and a place to answer it. Okay, you probably have seen this. And in the place to answer, I usually write this comment right here. And there is this hash mark. This hash code here means that this line is a comment. You see, the line is green. If I try to do something, nothing happened. This is a comment. After this, I can say whatever I want. I can say whatever I want. Everything after a hash is ignored by R. It's for the human, not for the computer, okay? It's documentation, is comment. The important thing happen outside the hash. So you should normally delete this line and write something new. Some people make a mistake and they delete this part and keep the hash. That doesn't work. For example, what is the answer? We say we can plot. And we will plot, what shall we plot here? Any idea?
Grafik.
Weight column.
Yeah, but it's a column. Column of what?
Weight. Oh.
Weight is a column.
Students.
Students. So
$sign.
if you see in the environment, we only have students. So what you want to say,
So we
if you
don't
take a
need
student,
Dollar
you
sign.
have to $sign, exactly. So weight, it's one of the, you can see, is one of the columns of students. So you have to say students and then what is the column, okay? Remember, so far we speak about only two things. We spoke about vectors first, and then we spoke about these Tibbles or data frames. That's rectangular data. And the rectangular data is made of several vectors, but you have to understand that students is not a vector, it's a set of vectors, it's a table, let's say, or a table to be more precise. And weight is a vector inside, is one of the columns. And each of the column is a vector. So let's see the result here. If you click, plot is a very simple command that I showed you before, and you get something like this. You see more or less what is happening here. Okay, so what I want to say is this. If you are not careful, and that always happens that someone keeps the hash here. If you put the hash and you click here, nothing happens. You see, let me click here. So if I click here, nothing happens because this is a comment, because there is a hash. In other words, to have the correct answer, you have to delete that hash, and then it works. Okay?
Okay.
So don't forget that this comment is to be deleted. You have to delete this line and write something here. So my proposal is, let's have a break now. I have like 12:40, and I think it will be fine if we're done, let's say 1/4. I mean, it's like, no, 1/4. Yeah, it will be like 35 minutes. But when we come back, we're going to continue with this. So essentially, you come back and you check your thing, check the question that come later, and think how we are going to answer these questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you can ask. I mean, we're going Java later. But the next of the classes is you telling me what to write. You writing your side. You can even use the chat and send me the code. Okay. So Afit Olson, and see you in
How many
much?
time?
Yeah, like at 1/4. We meet again at 1:15.
Okay.
Tamam.
Tamam.
13:15. Okay. Fine.
Fine. Okay.
Fine.
See you.
See you. See you
See you
soon.
later.
You know, I can talk forever. You press play and I talk forever. So, but then you have to ask questions. Have you seen the sharing the screen? Remember that the idea today is that everybody can share the screen. Okay. Okay. Everybody seeing?
Yes.
Remember to put the name. What I'm thinking at the end of the class, I will ask you to send me your file and with your number, and then it will be the second attendance of today. Okay. So what are we saying here? The plot. There is something that I want to show you. Maybe I showed you before, but just in case. No. Okay. First thing first. This thing that we put here, like message false, or the other option, like for example, something is, we can say that show output only. Show output only means that we are not going to show the code, we are only going to show the result. When you write a paper, it's probably going to be the way that we do it. Let me click 1 second here. Do we got it here? Yes, here. So you see, for example, let's see face to face, side to side. I put how many variables, and I choose the option here. I choose an option called show output only. That translates to this command, echo equal false. Echo, as you probably know, is always repeating what you say. Okay? You say echo, echo, echo, echo. So in this context, echo means that the system will repeat your commands and then show the output, like here. Number of rows, you see the command and you see the output. In this case, when I ask how many variables, if I use the option echo false, it will not show anything. That is most of the time when you write a paper, you want to show the result, you don't want to show the command. When we do the class, we normally want to show the command for teaching. For teaching, we want to show the commands, like here. But in a program, in a paper, you will probably want not to show that. Now, it will be boring to change them every time. Go one by one. So there is an option here at the beginning. As you see, it's called chunk options. This is a complicated way to explain. I mean, you don't need to pay too much attention to this. The only thing that you want to know is that whatever you put here at the beginning will be the option for every line. For example, if I want to put that message is false for everybody, I can delete it here and put it here. In other words, whatever I do here, whatever I do in every chunk will be valid only for that chunk. But whatever I put here in the top will be valid for everybody, for all the chunks. Okay? That is the reason for this. So, for example, what I do is this. Well, my comment is this. We start here with the option echo equal true, and we write all the paper. And at the end, at the very end, when we are happy with all the formulas, then we say echo equal false to have the final product with all the formulas. Okay. If you are sharing the document with someone who is working with you, you want to share the formulas. If you are sharing, I mean, publishing in a journal, you don't show the formulas. Fine?
Yes.
Questions? Yes, question, yes, fine.
Yes, fine.
Good. So, what do we have here? We say plot. Okay. What is the average? How to calculate the average or the mean value?
With the mean function.
Yeah. What is the command? If you want, let's use the chat for this. Or you try in your system. Try to do it first.
Okay, I'm writing on chat.
Okay, I'm going to. Change my camera for a second. Yesterday I made cafe latte. They were asking about them, and I put milk, and then I realized that every time I drink milk, I have stomach pain, so I'm not taking latte anymore. Okay, so we delete this line with the comment, and we write the thing that. Remember that the 3 dots should be at the beginning of the line. And let's see what happened. It says NA. What does that mean?
There are several students that did not enter their rate, so.
Exactly. You how you know that? There. Well, that is why the question of how many is important, because since we have like 100 students, we can see them. If there were 1 million, you will not print them. So they are common. For example, plot works well with 1,000, 2,000, but if you have 10 million points, you will only see a black square. It will not help you. On the other side, if you get less than 2,000, you can make a plot and it will be useful. And if you have less people, you can even see them. How we see the element of the vector? Let's say, because Buse say that we are getting NA here. Let me before we go, there's something else that I want to show you. That is here. There is an option here that says show output inline. Instead of in the console here down, I will to show you inline. So this is the console, and so far every time we click something, the command is here. Now I want to show it in in the same document. So, for example, if I click here, you get the plot directly here, you see? So now we are going to work directly with the document. You see? This option here, in this wheel, I think I showed it before. Here. Okay?
Okay.
And preview image and show option inline, and the this is optional, okay? But if you use this option, you can essentially go one by one, and you click in the display button, and everything will have a result, and you will see it kind of in your document. Please notice that it's something for visual. It's not really written here. This is line 30, this is line 31, and these are kind of only showing. They are being shown in line, but it's just to help you to understand what we are doing. It's like we have a document that is alive. We write our text, we write our comment, and we see the result. And then, for example, here we say mean, and the mean was NA. And then you say that there are too many, that some students didn't answer. How can we know that? What I'm suggesting that since these are not too many, they are only 117, we can write it here. What is the command to see the content of this vector?
We will use print function.
We can use the print function. In fact, okay, that is the most correct way. Instead of mean, we say print. I'm even copying and paste. Sometimes it's better to copy and paste so you don't make mistakes. I mean, copy and paste from your own document, no? Okay, so here you got the result. Print show you everything, and you see that some of them are not available. Why?
Because there is no answer from several students.
Because it was optional, and people decided, maybe this year it was not optional, but it was optional in the previous year. Fine. So, in fact, they say several element NA. So, and then the question is this: why the average is NA when people don't answer?
Because we can't make an accurate calculation with an NA. There is one more person, it affects the average.
Exactly.
But there is no value.
Exactly. I mean, if we don't know the value, we don't know the average of the values. We'll be guessing. So there is a point that NA is a special value that is kind of super powerful. If all the numbers are good, but there is one NA, that NA controls everything. So we have to learn how to handle that. So NAs are useful, but they are powerful, but great power takes great responsibility. So what can we do here?
To remove the NAs, but how?
Yeah, there is the first. Let's find who they are. Okay, here you probably have to Google it or find. That is the question, that how you learn beyond the thing that are in the class. We have the here the help. You remember there's help here, and here are the documents and the sheet sheets that the thing that we're going to do next class, and Markdown, and all the things that I was showing that I have in paper here. Oh. Everything that, I don't have the camera. Okay, no. Damn it, my camera is tricky. All this document here that I have, like the one-page summary of everything, I took from the menu here, from the R help, this part. Maybe there are more. You go to browse and you can see more things. Okay. Well, in this case, how we will find? I will look for NA, for example. And there are many things that say NA. NA omit, maybe. NA. And looking for NA. Then okay, there are many too many things. Yeah, there are too many things connected to NA. Okay. Well, I will give you the answer, but what I have in my mind. But you probably Google will find something. How find which elements are NA? There is a command that after you see it makes sense, you ask, is NA? Remember that you can press F1 here. You press F1. When I'm writing the command, you see there is the options here, and I press F1, and it will show me the help here. This is what I wanted to see, NA. NA with big letter, not available. And there is a function, and this is super interesting, is NA, that will say which of the elements of what? Big letter. Is NA open student dollar weight. Did you see how I am completing with the tab? No, I write and it gives me option, and I select the option. Using tab, I am selecting the option. What happened then here? This command is NA will return true or false. Okay? And it's true when it's NA, and it's false when it's not NA. Tamam? Yes, no?
Tamam.
Yeah. Okay. In fact, the most important is if you don't agree, then you tell me not tamam. Okay. So here we have an option to see which are. In fact, there is something else that I didn't know. This any NA that is also interesting. Is there any non-available? I will put a new command here. Insert. Is there any NA? Value. Different command, no? And here I will insert R code, and I write this formula. Any NA on stu tab $W tab. Close. And let's see what happened now. Click. True. There is some NA. Okay, this is a quick way to see if there is an NA. Question. How many students did not answer? How many NA we have here?
I'm gonna type from.
We can.
Sorry? Yeah.
We
I
can.
typed from. Oh, sorry.
Okay, Rana.
With some function.
Some function, for example.
Adding some in the same code.
Yes, yes, perfect. Because sum in general is for summing numbers, but if you sum logics, essentially count how many true you have. That is exactly, so the perfect answer. So how we do that? Can you write, here I have, perfect. This is okay. Yeah, Atacan answer is not the good one because you have to, it's not student, is the column of weight. You will see later, we will see in a minute that the NAs are different in different columns. So 17 people did not answer. Very good. Now, another question before going further, I want to say, here we have sum of is NA. Do you see any other way of writing the same code using the pipe? Can you see how to use the pipe? Remember that the pipe, essentially, when you have a function inside a function inside a function, the pipe kind of take the outside function and put it after.
Can I try?
Yeah, of course, try. Try. Everybody try. Write it in the chat.
No, okay.
Write it in the chat. So when you write in the chat and I can copy and paste, I will make less mistake. I will see exactly what you say. I mean, when you say with words, with voice, it's kind of easy to make mistakes, or that it's harder to get understood.
I tried something, but it doesn't work. I'm writing.
Yeah, but I also like when you write something that don't work. I prefer that you write something that doesn't work instead of not writing anything.
This doesn't work.
Okay, no, but okay, you are going to the next question. No, this will go for that. Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Okay. This is a good idea. Zainab answer is, yeah, this is going in the right direction. Atakan answer is a good answer, but for the other question. This is like we were saying before. For example, let's say that the answer may be correct, but not for this question. For example, if I ask you, is it raining today? And you answer 2 plus 3 equals 5. Okay, that is true. 2 plus 3 equals 5, but it's not the correct answer to the question, is it raining or not? So, okay, that is what happened here. Atakan give a correct answer, but to another question. This one, let's see. This is Zainab answer. Students, wait. First, the arrow should go to the other side. It's pointing from the students to the function.com. Okay? And second, you need to put the parentheses in the functions. The functions always go with parentheses. Okay? Because if you don't put parentheses, they will be values, not functions. Okay? So let's say that there is a difference between saying, for example, I don't know, C, you can have a variable called C, and there is a function called C. These two things are different. Okay? The letter C without parentheses means a variable. You can have a value there, but the C with parentheses has a different meaning. Okay, student, wait, then apply is NA, then apply sum. Why? Because we have not yet loaded that thing. Good point. So we should preload this. We can say load Magritter, or I don't know. the player. We are going to use it anyway. Okay. Let's try again. I don't have it. Come on. Do I have it? Maybe I didn't install in my computer. No, come on. Why I don't have it? Maybe I updated something in the weekend. Okay,
I downloaded too, but it gives me same error too. I get the same error you get.
Maybe I have to load something. Let's see. Okay, I will load this library. Yeah.
I use library for that.
Yeah, you are right. You see, I made the silly error. It's library. Yeah, that is the command. It's not load. It's library. Yeah, thank you. You see, team sport. Yeah, the command is library, not load. My mistake. Now it works. Very good. Thank you very much. Team sport. Okay. So this is one way of writing, and this is another way of writing. Okay. What you should use? Well, at some level, it depends on you. It's a matter of taste. For some people, you say, I want to do the sum of is NA of students of kind of, you go from the outside to from the inside to the outside, like an onion. In other case, you want to do, okay, I take this, then I do this, then I do this. You realize that they're the same story telling a different way. It's kind of different way of telling the same movie. Like one is the movie, the other is the book. I don't know. Different perspective, if you like. So the bottom line is you should be comfortable using this. I don't mean that you need to use it every time, but you should be comfortable understanding what is happening here. So you take the student weight, then you ask if it's an A or not, and then you count them. Okay? Now let's go to the question that Atakan was working here. Now we have to calculate the average, but without these people. So I will start exactly what this is doing here. This is very close. I will do in 2 steps probably here, just to see what is happening. Let me copy this here, because I want to see what is happening here. So this A is a vector, a logic vector, isn't so? Yes. That it is true when the content is NA. It's the same that we got here. It's the same vector that we got, because it's the same function, but instead of just printing it, we are looking inside of it. You create a new variable here called A, if you like. And then this exclamation A, what is exclamation A?
Opposite.
Yeah, the negation, the opposite, perfect, the contrary.
Except it.
It will be true when it's valid and false when it's not available. Okay? So what is wrong here? Okay, let me see what is complaining here. Why I say a zero length variable name? I guess something in the copy and paste. I don't know.
But it gives a result. It's 0.85.
Yeah, but okay, good point. Good point. 0.95. Is it good or bad? And this is a very good point. This is a very good point. Is this good or bad?
That can be the average of these weights.
Can or
right?
cannot?
It's probably not. I don't know.
What do you think? What do you think?
It should be bigger than that, I think.
Do you know anybody that weighs less than 1 kilo?
I don't.
Yeah, then you have to think. Okay, let's put in this context. Computers always give you numbers. Your work is to make sure that this number makes sense, that these numbers are connected to reality. Okay, that is what we call the biologist's work. The computer guy will put everything and will give you, this is the number that we got. Your work as a scientist is to say, this makes sense, this doesn't make sense. You go back, the numbers are 67, 55, 74, 56, 88. So this 0.85 doesn't make sense. What is wrong here?
Yes, but why it gives it? I mean, where it comes from?
I think it's average of count, truth count.
Exactly. Remember that A is a logic value. So what you are taking here is the average of true and false. The same that we did sum here. We have 17 that are true. You can also ask this question, how many are not? You can ask the question, how many are not true? And that will be 100. And if you take, later you take, for example, let's make a new thing here. Let's put it here. You have 100 that are valid. And I ask you, what is 100? Divided in the total, 117. You see what happened?
I see now, okay.
What we are saying is your command is the correct answer to a different question. The question that you are answering is, what percentage of the people got a valid weight? Okay? That is the question that you are answering. So your answer is true but wrong. It's correct but not for this question. It's the correct answer to a different question. Let's undo this one and we come back to the same that we had before. 17 people not, 100 people yes. So we cannot take the mean of the logic vector. We want to take the mean of the weight. How we can calculate the mean of the weight?
We divide sum of the weights
By using pipe.
person number.
Another idea?
By using pipe.
Well, pipe is a tool. The question is how you will use that tool. Let me show you very clear what we were talking. This is A. But what you want to see is something more like so then wait, one W. You want to see something like this. Something like this, but without the NA. How we take out the NAs here.
we identify NAs as a false or something?
Exactly. And how we do that? Like this. Look, the first is true. The second is true. The third is false. This code that say A is NA, and then you say, let's make it in a single line just to make it maybe shorter. I will not say this A now. What we have here is a logic vector that is true when the number is valid and is false when the number is NA. Okay? And then what is the missing step to connect this vector with this vector? Kind of what we did all the last class last week. What was the keyword of last week?
Should you write equals to true near the is now students weights?
You don't need to write equal to true because that is always equal to true. True is always equal to true and false is never equal to true. So no, but there is one part that is missing. What was?
Last week we filtered
Yeah,
a lot
how we filtered?
with other. Yeah, I'm trying to do that.
What was the name of last week class?
Index.
Index, exactly. That is the keyword. Index. Index is the keyword. So how we write an index? What is the symbol for using index?
It's square parentheses.
The square parentheses. Square parentheses. That is what is missing. And what we put inside the square parentheses?
Normal parentheses.
No. No, we don't put normal parentheses. No. We put the logic vector. We put the index. In this case, the logic vector. What is the logic vector?
A.
Yeah, A, or like I put here. So this is a logic vector. It will be true when the number is a valid number, and it will be false when the number is an NA. We use this, including the exclamation point, the bank, exclamation point. You use that logic vector as an index for the numeric vector, and the result are all the numbers that are valid numbers, and all the NAs are outside. I give you a minute to process it, and you tell me when you, I mean, especially tell me if you don't believe me. And you have to convince yourself, you have to check it, convince yourself, not trust me blindly, you have to check. Maybe I am wrong.
Can you go up a little bit?
Yes, but let's do something. I will give you these two commands, and you should be writing this in your text, so you have. I will copy this. Okay. Can this? So this was the command that show us the content of the vector. We don't put the print in the second formula. Okay. And then, yeah, the next step is to calculate the average of these things. mean of okay. Okay, Melike moved the head. Zeynep, I don't know if she got sun in the face or is not like, I cannot believe this. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Said they look happy. So is she moving? It's a video? Yeah, no, it's alive. It's not a video. Okay, good. It is important that you write this in your computer, even if you do it with your own. I mean, even if you copy and paste right now, it is important that you get so you can check it later. Okay, question. Do we have a easier way to do this thing? Because this is kind of very ugly, no? I mean, you can kind of see the part, but it's kind of ugly. Do we have? Well, I'm giving you a new trick. And in fact, the point is here. If you go to min here and you press F1, you see the help of min. You see that min has an option called NARM, which is a logical value, true or false, that will tell if the NA value should be stripped before computing average. So the short version is that you say mean of students $weight, comma, NARM, remove, RM means remove, true. That is the short version. Okay? Okay, CNAP is happy now. Good. So the point is this. This is the shortest way, and you see why is shorter, why is useful. The all is the complete way that kind of is more general. You can use in more cases. But I think here in the line 90, it is much easier to understand. So what we have say is this. First, I want to stop a minute and consider this. This is real data. This is how things happen in reality. It's so real that you wrote it. I didn't invent it. You created this. It's you, people like you, who wrote these numbers. Okay. I mean, you know these people, and some people didn't answer weight, and all this problem came because of that. And that is part of the kind of data that we will have. This is not only an exercise, this is real thing that happens when you have real data. You will have data that is missing, and you need to know what to do when you have missing. Taking the average without the NA will not be useful. So you have to get rid of them, but you have to be careful. We have to be careful with them. We will be more and more careful, okay? So in general, the other comment is this. Many commands have an option like NARM. Not all, but many. So in general, when the result is affected by the average, sorry, if the result is affected by the presence of NA, you may have an option like this, NARM or NA omit or something like that. Okay, we're going to find these things. Okay, that is one problem. So problem solved. What about the rest? For example, what are all the values here, all the numbers here? For example, I cannot believe that this girl was born 2 years ago. Most people were born in 1998, and some people was born 2018. That probably is wrong. Here, same person. Do you think this is right or not? Let me show the other way. So one way of checking, check every numeric column. So one way to check the numeric column, let's do it here. One way to check the numeric column will be to just say student, what is the first? Numeric is height. Well, that was the one that I said. We can see what happened here. We have an ace again, but we have something that is worse. It is useful to make a plot. Plot is a command that we use essentially to get an idea of what is happening here. Okay. Later, after the midterm, we are going to work more in plots, but right now we are using plot just to take a quick look at the data. Okay, what is happening here? What is happening here? Tell me what is happening here, according to your. What do you think is happening here?
There are outline.
Okay, one by
Sorry,
one.
keep going.
Okay,
You go.
Continue.
Sorry. Oh, okay.
Lucy.
The weights are usually in approximately very close to each other.
Okay. Another, Atakan?
There are some outliners, so we have to fix them.
Outliers, yeah. What is happening here? Another version.
I think there are people heightless.
Mm-hmm.
They misunderstood the unit.
Exactly.
Unit.
Can you see that? Even if the questions say give your height in centimeters, they put their height in meters. Okay. Unless they are very small people like this side, maybe there are some people that are really this side, but most probably there are two alternatives. They are very small or like you in the screen. Like, yeah. Or that is a joke about Picasso and thing that people are small. Okay, that is another art history. But yeah, I believe that they were not careful. And then you see why it is important to pay attention to instruction. How can you be wrong in a very easy part of the question? What can we do here? How can we fix them? Okay, cookie for. How can we fix this case?
I have
Because
an
this
idea,
is-
but
Okay, go ahead.
I have an idea, but I think it's slavery for a computer. How about if we find those wrong answers and we multiply with blah blah in order to write in centimeters? But if there's too much wrong value, that would be
But,
yeah, we will be slaves.
we can tell the computer to do that. That is exactly the idea, but you have to tell the computer.
But that
Let's
would be long
find
code, very long code. Like
Maybe not.
multiply these.
We multiply by 100. You agree? Because if we have meters and we want centimeters, we multiply by cent, which is 100. Okay, the blah is easy. Let's find them.
We can
First.
we can set a limit. For example, we can use smaller than sign to set a limit.
Give
Let's
us
start with that.
heights smaller than 2, we can say, because there's no one.
Well, here is the plot is useful. You know that the good people are over 1 meter, and the people who made mistake is less than 50 centimeters. So you don't need to be very precise. If you cut here with, I don't know, 80 centimeters, 50 centimeters, an horizontal line here, you see, around here. No, I cannot draw it here, but you understand. There is a point here. There is a tool for drawing. Yeah, there is. Let's see. Can I draw? Let's see. Ah, zoom magic. I didn't know we can do this. We can do it soon. You see? So the plot helps you to realize what is a good threshold. So you can say 50%, 50 centimeters, 80 centimeters, something like that. That will separate the good people from the bad people. Okay, the good answer from the bad answer. Okay? Yes, no?
Tamam.
Yes.
Tamam, good. Good. How we do that? Let's find them. So this, again, student height, handspan will be later. Less than 50, I don't know. It's not very critical. I mean, you realize that the number can be anything between 20 centimeters and 1 meter 20, so anything. So some will be true, some will be false, some will be NA. Okay. Yeah, so the NA are kind of problematic here. Because I don't know what will happen if we use the NA. But okay, let's see what are the people. Let's improve this to look inside the student height. I can copy and use the logical vector inside the numeric vector. Let's see what happened here. And we have the NAs and the small people. We can add another rule. Let's start with the NA. Not is NA student and yeah. Oh, these are the people that we want. These are the numbers that we want to change, no? Okay, let's make in two parts. Let's make this. This will be useful to separate in two parts. So I will say give a name like A, but something like these are too small. A name that is meaningful. You have to choose a name for the variable, and I am making this command. First, the number should be a valid number, not an NA. So it's not an NA. And after I calculate this, we check that the height is less than 50 centimeters. Fine.
Now we should multiply them 100 with 100.
I have to show the content here. Too small. Okay. Okay. So the true are the ones that are too small. Okay. And yes, now we have to multiply. How we multiply them?
100.
No, but there is something else than just 100. 100. What else? I cannot just write 100. I have to write something else. Something more.
Too small times 100, maybe.
Okay.
No.
200.
Remember that too small is a logic number. So you multiply and it will be 0 when it's false and 100. So here I told you, and I repeat in the last class, that index is the really hard part. The idea is very simple, but people get confused all times. It is always the typical problem. So it is not the too small, it's the value of the element that are too small. You don't want to multiply the logic vector, you want to multiply the numeric vector. The students hate of when they are too small, and then this we multiply by 100. Okay, let's do it in two steps. Let me copy this. And we're going to do in two steps. First, we are going to see if this makes sense. We are going to check everything and see if it makes sense, okay? Let me go up and we see what is happening here. So, we make the plot and we notice that something is funny here. How can we fix them? So let's see them first. Let's see the student height here. Students $H A tab. Okay. So visually, what are the numbers that you see that are too small? 1.68, 1.64, 159, 175. Okay. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Muge has been not saying anything. If you don't speak, you have to show your screen.
I agree.
Okay, say that you agree. That is not painful. Just say I agree. Remember that you are going to work all your life presenting in public. Everybody in the future will be speaking in public. So let's start speaking now. Okay, so then we ask which of them are too small. The first is not too small. Yeah, it is false. The second is too small. Good. The third, we don't know, but it's not, we don't have any numbers. So you see they are false, and when they are true, for example, this is 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this one, 9, 10, 11, no, 9, 10, 14. What is it? 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 9, 10, 11. No, 15. This one. Yeah, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, fine. This is too small. And this is true. Okay? Then we combine these two things. We have the vector with the numbers, and one they have the logical vectors with that is true when they are too small. And we see, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, so some of them that are too small. Okay? I'm always curious what is in reject background. Like there's kind of a window behind, and I don't know if that window is real or not.
It's from the office.
Yeah, I was thinking that I never saw the office, but it looked like you are. I think this guy is in the office, is working in the office, and not. Is so good a student that even in the office is studying. Good. Okay, so these are the numbers that we want, and now we multiply them. Good. We got centimeters. Now, what is the last step here?
Multiply with 100.
We did that.
What?
We multiply by 100 here.
Then we are going to assign this all values.
We have to assign them.
Change with
How we assign them?
Arrow.
Okay, an arrow, yeah. Okay, this is the number that we are going to assign. And I am going to put the arrow pointing to the other side, just because we can do that, okay? where do we assign them?
Students $height.
Anything else?
But
I'm
do
going
we
to
know
try.
their places? Like which element are they?
Which are the element? Do we know?
We don't know. We didn't
Are you
write
sure?
the code for
But
it.
we found them. If we were able to find them and multiply them, then we know.
Wouldn't we write too small with brackets again?
Exactly. Very good. If you have an index to find them, then you have an index to assign them.
Can we go
This should not
over
have
this
any
part?
answers. Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes, of course. Just one. Let me find the result here. Are student dollar height. What happened? No, height. And see what happened now. The NAs are still NA, but the small are not longer small. Okay, let's go. Okay. From the beginning, from the very beginning. Initially, we took a look at weight, and when we did the plot of weight, did we do a plot of weight? It looked normal. Some small value, some big value, but in general, it makes sense that was a group that are all more or less close. And the only thing that we found funny is that when we calculate the mean, we get NA. And then you say, why we have not available? Because some people didn't answer. Fine, we say. So if they didn't answer, how can we ignore them? Well, we learn how to use the isNA function, which is useful. But at the end, the short version is that you have to do mean with the option NA remove. Calculate the average without the NA. Fine. So for the weight, the only problem was missing data. Agree?
Yes.
Then we start looking to height. And in the case of height, we also have missing data. And but when we did the plot, we found something different. It is not only that some people didn't answer, it is also that some people answered with the wrong units. Okay? It's a different kind of problem. It's not that the value is missing. The value exists, but it's wrong. But it's wrong in a way that we can correct. Okay, so we want to isolate them. We from visually we find that a threshold of 50 or 80 or whatever is good to find, and we, as usual, we ask every time we have a condition, a question that we like question that the answer is true or false. Okay, yes or no, yes or no questions. Okay, so is it too small or not? Well, it has to be a valid number. This first part of the number is valid, and that number that is valid, we have to see it is less than 50. Okay? And that gives us this logic value, true, false. That is true when the value is too small, and is false. It is false when the number is fine. So too small is our tool. Too small is the index that we're going to use to point to the problems. And we did it here. Okay, we use it too small as an index inside the bracket. And in the case that too small is true, we correctly, effectively, we recover the numbers that are less than, they're written in meters, not in centimeters. Okay? Fine so far?
Yes.
Then we know that we can multiply these numbers and they make sense. If we multiply by 100, they make sense. Fine. But until here, everything that we did was looking inside the data frame, looking inside the vector without changing anything. And now we are going to change. To change, we have to use the arrow. Now the arrow always points from the new value to the place that we are going to store it. So, for example, in the previous course, I will have written this in a different way. This command, I will write something like this. I will write the final position. I will take it here. And I will say, this should take this value. This is what I will have written in previous years. Student height. Okay. Now, in an assignment, you have two parts, the value and where are you putting it. The value here is this vector. Okay? Agree? It is a vector because it's the same number. This text is the same text here. You see, they are even marked with the same, I mean, when I put the mouse here, you can see the other part of the document that have the same text, you see? Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
And then the second part is here the assignment. This is notice that this is a very small vector. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 elements that are too small. And the vector height is more than 100 elements. So we don't want to replace 100 elements with only these 11 elements. We want to replace only the ones that are wrong. So we use the same index for the place that is getting the values. And then we check again after doing this assignment, and we see that student changed. The data frame changed. Okay? You can even look it here. Well, somewhere here maybe. Height. If you see here, it updated. You see there is no small number now here. Okay? We still have some NA. Okay?
Can I ask something?
Of course.
I think I did this part multiple times, so it's more than, for example.
That is super good question. Super good question. Yes, yes, this is super important. I was hoping that someone did this. This is super good, super good. In general, everything that we do is looking at a data frame and we create a new data frame. For example, when we do index or something, everything the result is new, except in this case. This is a case that the original data is changing. In general, it never happens. In general, you have the original data and you create a new, and then a new, and you are always creating. But when you assign using indices, when you use an index, then you are changing something that already exists. You are not creating a new variable, you are changing a variable that already exists. And that is super important. That is super important. I will write it here. So notice that this command change, I will put it in. So let's do what you say. If I do it again, I will modify the original data and it will look very funny. The one that are very too small and now they are too big. Because we are modifying the old. That is something that you have to be careful. Now, there is a solution for this. Never panic. Because, and that is the trick of this. Because imagine that you are doing this in Excel. That can happen in Excel and you will not have a way to undo it. So the good thing is that we can go to the beginning. There is an option here if you want, clear all output. Let's start from, and you can even go here and we clear everything in the memory, okay? I'm saving it just in case. So what can we do now? We do it all again. We start from 0. We can redo it. We can click here, or to make it easy, you go to the part that is interesting. More or less like here, and here let's click, and you click this button. Can you see what is the message in the just below my mouse? It says run all chunks above this one. So if I click here, everything before will be executed again. Click, click, click, click, click, click. You see how it's running? Chick, chick, chick, chick, chick, chick. All the commands were done, the data is loaded again, and we have it clean again. Okay, so it's no problem. If you feel that you destroyed some data, if you feel that you lose some data, you can do clean everything here. You press this button, clean everything, and click in this that says run everything above. Fine. I didn't run the thing. Let's run this one. And now I run it here. Moreover, every time you need, this is important, every time you process and produce the document, it is also cleaning everything. Every time you press this neat button, all the variables are clean. I mean, it's completely independent. This knitting process is completely independent. So it will load the data again, it will process the data again, and it will produce everything from 0.
I'm sorry, can you show how did you clear again? You know.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. But just to show you this work, let's see in the big screen here. The result looks like this. So here, how we clean? I went to environment, and there is a broom you have to clean. Tamam? And then I click.
Okay.
And I say yes. Tamam? And then I have to process again to get everything. Fine?
Yes, it's okay now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, this question, let me wait for the next time. This is will require a longer conversation. So we will skip this question. But so far, everything that we did is about indices. there is this trick with the NA, but the problem is essentially about indices. Maybe the point that I want to make is this. Let's see the result here. If you say students, I show you in the video that I send you, but this is the summary, not the summary. This is kind of the beginning of the data. The data is bigger. This we saw it here. Here is the complete data. But if you want to have a quick look, you just put the name here. In the way that we are using now, using Reader, using the Tibbles, using the modern data frames, not the one of the last semester, but this semester, we get this short answer. Okay. Notice that even the NA are shown in red to warn you that they are NA. Okay. And you can see, if you see more, maybe you can see students and we select some columns or something like that. And you will see that the numbers make sense. That is essentially that we have a data frame or a table that is useful. If we plot height now, if we did again the plot, let's make it in the document. At the end of all this processing, we should see that, okay, we're not going to speak about this yet. So, so plot students height. Just because plot was the first thing that was calling our attention. Now it makes sense. Isn't? Okay, good. We need to give a curtain to Zainab. So this process is super important. The name here is tidying up. Let's put a space here, no? Tidying up. Okay. This is called a quotation, tidying up our data. And it will be a super important step when you have real data, because you never know. I mean, in general, whatever you get from an instrument or from an experiment may have some problem, and you have to be careful to make sure that you are using data that is useful. Okay, that is kind of clean, tied up, so useful enough. So, well, and that explains why all this system is called tidyverse. All the system that we are going to use this semester is called tidyverse because it's about using tidy data. Well, I think we should stop here because I think this is kind of completing the idea. There is another part, but we can try it next time, and we are going to talk about this in the next class and so. Okay, maybe there is. I will do only the part with the index. So, for example, if you see here, we have students of several years. The first column. What is the first column here? Oh. Open again. This is not working well. The first column says Answer date. This is the date that the quiz was answered. Okay, the survey was answered. So some people answered on September 2 years ago. Some people answered last year, 2019, in October. And some people answered this year in November. So essentially, we have three groups of people because three generations. How can we isolate the people of this year? I show you a little bit of that in the video, but the basic point is that we have to filter using the date. So let's
use filter.
go. Yeah, we're going to filter just to understand the date. We're going to take like 5 minutes of this just to fix the idea. So students answer date. It is shown like a text. And it can be a text. I think internally is a little more smart, but for us, it's like it was a text. And there is something that I want to take a minute, is how we write time in a computer. There is at least 3 ways to write time. For example, if I am in US, I will probably write that today, what day is today? Today we will say is November 16 of 2020. That is the American way of writing dates, no? You have seen that thing.
Yes.
American way. In the rest of the world, well, not in the rest of the world, in the European, including Turkey and Latin America, we will say 16 of November of 2020, which kind of makes more sense. But the problem, of course, is that you have said like, what day is the 10 of 6? What day is that? Is October 6 or 10 of June? It is not clear, it's ambiguous. So there is a way that I think is the Japanese way, in which you write the year first, and then the month, and then the day. And the trick is that there is no, there are two advantages of this. First is that nobody get confused what is year, what is month, because the first number is a year. It cannot be a month. There is no month 2020. There is no day 2020. The first number is clearly the year. Okay, that is the first advantage. The second advantage is this: when you sort the text alphabetically, when you sort it, it is also sorted by time. If you write your date like year, then month, and then day, and you sort it, then the rest will be sorted by time. If you write in the other order, if you write month, day, and then year, and you sort, it will not be sorted by time. Or if you write day, month, you can try. You can see, maybe can make a nice exam question, like sort by time, sort by. Okay, that's a good, for next time. But the basic point that we want to say here is that we are writing the time with first the year, then the month, then the day. And therefore, we can compare with another text that it has the same shape. So for example, we can say 2020, but we have to put the month January, and the first day of January, for example. And then you will find that the first dates are before 2020, and the last ones are after 2020, I mean today. Okay, so in summary, to work with time, with date or minute or something, it is important to write the time in the proper way. It's important to write this like first year, then month, then day. If you do that way, everything works as it should. You can compare dates, you can sort them, and everything will be fine. Okay? That is something that I put in the video, but I didn't explain. That is the last point. So just to finish, I want you to send me by email your file, this file that we wrote here. You put your name and you put your number. Put your number here. And I'm going to use this as attendance for the second part of the class. Okay? Fine?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay.
We are gonna send this to plus CMB email, right?
Yeah. That is the address
Okay.
for. Yeah, a very good question, because that is part of the practice. I am practicing that you send the answer to the correct email address. Okay?
Okay.
Any question?
I have a question.
Ask.
I tried to download the deployer, but I couldn't. I read library deployer, but it didn't work.
It did work or did not work? What
Not
is the
work.
question?
I can share my screen.
Okay. And let me stop sharing my screen. Well, just for the rest of the people, if you want, you are free now. If you don't have any question, you are free to go.
Can I send it RProj?
No,
Extends.
the art project doesn't work. No,
Okay.
not. No, it should be the RMD. And what you have, what you have in packages? Do you have tidyverse?
I'm looking. The player is not here. There is only data set.
And down.
And digital.
Tidyverse. You can even search there, no? No, you have to. There is something that you didn't install. No, not that. So click install. Click the button install here, and then say tidyverse, no? Tidy.
D.
It will take a lot. T. No, let me write it for you.
T. Is this?
I send in the chat.
Tidyverse. I found it. Install.
Yeah, install. It will take a while.
Okay.
But I want to see if there is some kind of this, because there is many other things that are required. You see, like okay. It's a good point for the people that are still here. Please do this. Please install tidyverse, because we are going to use it, especially in the next class. You have to wait patiently. You can stop sharing the screen if you like. Fine.
Okay.
I also have a question.
Go ahead.
When I write the, we multiplied them by 100 when the height, yes.
Yeah.
And then we plotted, right?
No.
The right.
Before between multiplying by 100, we store them back.
Yes, I know. But my plot is the same as before. But when I knit it, it's just like yours.
So do this. Go to. Let me show you. what I think you should do if you have that problem, you just do this. Go to clear all data.
Okay.
And go here, clear all output. There is clear all output. And then you go to the part of the new plot. And you click this, run everything. And you wait a minute that everything is recomputed. Because what you are seeing is probably the remaining of previous computations. If you did something and then you do it again, if you do things in different order, then the result may be different. In fact, there is even one more way. If you want to clean everything, you can essentially go here, go to the project. That is a good thing. If you want to do everything again from zero, you can go to project and click the same project again, and it will restart everything with clear. Of course, we save the file so you can do it everything, but it will take 1 minute to restart everything, and it will be fine. Dun, dun, dun, dun. Everything is empty. You start from zero. You go to the part that you want to. Oh well, this is with the. Let's go here and let's say clear all output. And here, and it takes 1 minute. At the end of the day, what we care is about the neat part. At the end of the day, that is the one that it's important. That is the one that you're going to deliver, and that's going to be your paper and so.
When you cleared the paper, you clicked on the directory and then clicked on the CMB1 class 15, right? It cleared everything.
Yeah, I mean, what I did was open the project again from zero.
Okay.
Here, this is the project. I can open a new project or change to another. I have other projects, for example, bioinformatics of last year. So, but in this case, I just click in this class, and I restarted the class. I restarted the project.
But our commands are saved, right? Because we need them.
Everything that you put here in the practice is stored. Everything that is put in the RMD. The RMD is where you save all the commands that you use. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
I was going to ask that, you know, my computer is broken, so I don't have a file, but should I send you an empty email for attendance?
Yeah, let's do that. Send me that email so I don't forget you. But okay. I will put this file in the. I will give you a link to this file, and you can do it later. Okay.
Okay, I will do that, and I will remake my homework from one of my friend's house, and I will send it to you today.
Yeah, it's fine. But my point is this: it is important for everybody that you do this before the exam, that you practice with the finger and you. That is why it's super important that you deliver everything on time, even if it's wrong. But it's a kind of a physical practice, you know, like I don't know, going to the gym or running. Or I don't know what to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Fine.
Okay. Thank you. Fine. Thank you.
You are welcome.
I also have a question.
Yeah.
It's about one of the first question. It says there are less than blah blah elements in this vector, so we can print them. So I missed that part. I think we wrote print students weight, right?
At the beginning, yeah, with this print student weight.
But I don't get the print part. Like it gives us the result, but we can have the same result Result without writing print.
Exactly. Very good. I was also waiting. That was a question that I was waiting that someone make that question. You see, people are not asking the question that. Yeah. If you save the name of a variable without any command, it will automatically print. Like they are kind of more or less the same, but the point is this: when you say print, you are giving an instruction. You are saying to the computer, go and print this now, do it now. In some context that we will see later, that may be a difference. In some context, you may have to be explicit. If you don't say print, you in general will see also the same result, but there's some context that we will see later that in the variable doesn't show. Okay, so for now, this print is optional. I don't know if you are seeing my screen. No, yeah, you are seeing my screen. For example, right now, this command and without print are equivalent for us. And I am fine if you use the second version without print. But I want you to know that there is a command called print that in some cases we have to use it. Okay? For now, it's not important, but there will be a time in the future that you need to be explicit and say, go and print this. Fine? You got the idea?
So it's necessary for further applications.
Yeah, it will be useful in later. It will be in study later, but right now, it's not very important.
Okay, I got it.
But after the midterm will be useful. Okay, it is kind of a just in case. In general, I try to teach you just in time, but sometimes I need to teach you just in case. Like, trust me, this is going to be useful later. But yeah, I avoid doing that, but sometimes we cannot avoid. Sometimes you have to say, trust me, this is going to be good.